Yeah, we'll get to that video in a second, Martin, but the latest total for those crossing the channel today is 828, all counted as they came off the boats by our trusty producer down in Dover, Chris, who tells us that, of course, this is a record day by a long shot. 705, as you mentioned there, was the last record day on the 15th of April. And really, I think to be getting such very significant numbers this early in the year is very significant and points to what we're seeing there from these latest videos that we've obtained. Are many thousands of people now heading towards the coast of northern France with a view to getting over on the small boats to the UK. Now, it's significant this week because we've had a week of bad weather. You can see the imagery there with that ninja popping up there as an emoji. The ninja is relevant because that is what the people smugglers use as their emoji. Basically, it shows you that's a people smugglers video. You can see one of the small boats there in the dunes having been blown up, being prepared to be carried down to the sea itself. And as I say, we got 3 days of good weather before we then hit another sort of bad spell of about a week or so of bad weather. So that's why we're seeing very significant numbers now, taking advantage of 3 days of good weather to get as many people across the channel as possible. And of course, it comes just hours after the confirmation that 2 migrants died trying to make the journey overnight into this morning. I want to just show you some other footage we have now that relates to one particular migrant. This is the chap here. He is a Somali who left Somalia and has made his way to the UK. And he's basically detailed his journey there. You can see it on the screen where he talks about leaving Somalia and going effectively to Eritrea, Benin, a number of other African countries before going to North Africa and eventually to Libya. And then in Libya, he takes one of those dilapidated fishing boats across the Mediterranean to Italy, probably one of the islands like Lampedusa in Italy. He then makes his way to Switzerland, from Switzerland across to France, and in France he gets on a small boat. Let's take a look at this bit of video. There with accompanying music is our Somali migrant on that small boat making his way to the UK. Does he make it? Yes, he does. Here is him and a friend outside his new hotel. Looking very happy to be here as well. But I think the thing that's important in illustrating the story of this one particular migrant is it shows you the number of countries, so many different countries this migrant passed through on his way from Somalia to the UK. Not one of those countries was this young man stopped, detained, turned back. He just continued through country after country after country until he got to the northern coast of France and onto that small boat.
Mark White, people watching this will probably be as incredulous as I was. I mean, I almost headbutted the desk then. This is just getting absurd now. You keep sending us these videos, you keep getting hold of them. There's a multitude of evidence that we are being mugged off. The British taxpayer is footing the bill, country after country after country, simply allowing these people to waltz through, getting to the channel, coming in, and then there they are, happy as Larry, in a four-star hotel, making videos and simply gloating at the British taxpayer who's paying for all this. It's absolutely sickening, and the politicians keep talking tough. Mark White, they're not listening.
Well, you know, Sir Keir Starmer is at pains to tell us very often about the international effort that's required to stop people smuggling. And he's right. And, you know, he's trying to sign deals with many countries around the globe to help. But I think, you know, the evidence is clear for people to see. Whatever they say they're doing, they are not doing it as effectively as they should be, because thousands upon thousands of migrants are making those journeys from Africa and from Asia and from other parts of the world with a view to getting across to Northern Europe, to those rich industrialised countries in Northern Europe, and many of them, as we know, want to get across the English Channel to the UK.
And Mark White, once again, your video show that pull factor, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Welcome to Hotel Britannia. Mark White, astonishing stuff. Thank you once again for giving it to us here on GB News. Back to studio, quick bit of reaction. Nigel Nelson, you were watching that yourself with your jaw agape. This is the country being ravaged by opportunistic people. We're being told that there's a tough response. Nothing is stopping. Today's a record day, and it's simply getting worse.
Well, and it will get worse over the summer because of the weather, which is the big pull factor. I mean, I think that we're making progress, but it's very slow.
Where?
Well, I mean, as an example, with the new EU deal that we've got, we now have access to facial recognition in Europe, which we didn't have before. When I say before Brexit.
How will that stop him getting through 8 countries before he gets the blighty?
Well, it wouldn't stop him from getting through. What I'm saying is that there are other people there. If you're trying to weed out terrorists and criminals, there's a chance that the facial recognition would help.
Well, the 3 Iranians
in this guy's case,
terrorism offences who came in on dinghies and lorries, they weren't stopped.
No, I know, but we haven't got the facial recognition yet. This is
you honestly think that's going to make a toot-cahoot bit of difference?
I don't know, but it's a start in the right direction, in the same way as going for the people smuggling gangs, in the same way we're trying to negotiate returns deals with European countries that we lost because of Brexit.
This is the conversation on an endless loop. It's Groundhog Day. Yeah. We have it week after week after week. The evidence is getting worse. Today is a record low day for Sir Keir Starmer. He can't smash the gangs any more than Rishi Sunak could stop the boats, any more than King Canute could stop the tide, any more than I can flap my arms and fly to the moon. Let's be honest, nobody in any political party seems to have any solution to this, Chris.
Well, the offering from the Reform UK party is we'll tow them back to France when they think they can do that under some law which other parties haven't yet seen. So, I mean, Reform may offer some solutions. Some will say they can't even deliver that either. I would say, though, one thing, why didn't Keir Starmer use the returns agreement with the European Union as a line in the renegotiation of that deal on Monday? That may have been given a much better political dividend from this drama.